Well, I'm back, Griddle Nation, and don't worry, I have good reason for my pause. I added a new Griddle Nation member to the family. Her name is Scarlett, and I am super excited to be back cooking some good things. By the way, I got some Philly cheesesteak nachos for you today. Trust me, you're gonna love it. Let's get to cooking. First things first, we want to put on our veggies, and of course, make sure you get a good oil. Personally, I like to use a good avocado oil. Now, today I've just got sweet Vidalia onions. You can use yellow onions, whatever you want, and of course, green peppers. I'm going to season it with some SPG, which I have in this fancy little jar, zhuzhing up my kitchen. Basically, it's just salt, pepper, and some garlic powder. I'm going to do that. If you haven't had this Philly cheese, or it's called Blackstone cheesesteak seasoning, it's incredible. You got to get some. It's not necessary for this recipe, but if you got it, it adds a really good little zing. Let's talk about the meat here. Got shaved ribeye. However, you can use all sorts of different steak meat for this. It's really whatever your little heart desires. For me, this is just quicker, easier. It's already shaved. You look back at a couple of my recipes on YouTube, you can see other meats to use for Philly cheesesteak. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly kind of just pull this meat apart. I do have to season this meat as well. Let's go back to the veggies. Quick little toss. I'm gonna add a little bit more of my avocado oil. These are gonna take probably about a solid, I would say, 3 to 5 minutes for these veggies to cook down. Really, you just want them al dente because we're putting them in the new E Series Airfryer. So if it's not already cooked all the way down, that E Series Airfryer will do the rest of it. Little seasoning here on my meat. Same thing, I'm just doing this SPG, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and a little bit of my Blackstone cheesesteak seasoning. Little good toss. Probably about, I would say 5 minutes on this. That's the fun part. All right, let it sit and we'll be right back. The meat and the veggies are all done, so we're just gonna mix them up real good, and then we're gonna pull them to the side, put it in a bowl, and you'll need this in just a minute when we go to build the nachos. I'm gonna grab that E Series air fryer. It kind of does a little bit of everything, but for today's purpose, I'm using the air fryer mode. I'm going to preheat and bake, or air fry rather, for 8 minutes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and take out that pan. This is the fun part, is the building. Now you can use whatever tortilla chips you want, whether it's white corn, yellow corn, gluten-free, because it's corn. It's, you know, all sorts of chips out there you can use. I really like these, so I'm just gonna simply, you don't wanna put all of them on at once because I like to kind of layer my nachos. By the way, this thing is huge, so you don't feel like you have to fill it up. All right, so I've got a little bit of chips down, and then I'm going to layer. Layering is key. Have you ever had nachos at a restaurant and you're going to eat them and, well, once you finish the top of the nachos, it's like nothing is left because you ate all the good stuff? That's because they do not layer their nachos. So this is really key. Okay, so all I'm doing is putting a little bit of shredded provolone / mozzarella down on that. So now that that's built, we're gonna move on to the meat. This is the good stuff. I'm going to just layer this on. So a little bit here. You don't want too much because remember, we're all about the layering. Just basically halfway, half of your meat, half of your veggies you're gonna do, okay? That's looking good. Now, you're gonna do the same thing. You are going to add your chips right here on top, and then this will kind of be your final beautiful view of your nachos for everybody. Okay, now we're going to do shredded cheese. Again, as much as you want, as little as you want. Looks great. We're gonna add the rest of our meat here. Oh, did you hear that noise? That means your air fryer is preheated and ready to go. Gosh, I just love that E Series. Really does it all. Now we gotta talk about the good stuff, the cheese sauce. So what we're gonna do is I've already put it in like a piping bag. So I took a Ziploc bag. This is a great mom hack, a Ziploc bag, and I'm just gonna use it as a piping bag. I'm just gonna simply cut off the bottom here, just tiny bit, just like that. And then kind of just go back and forth like this. This cheese sauce is so good. It reminds me like when you go to the fair, you know, like the county fair and they have all the cheese sauce on the nachos. This is what that is, and it is phenomenal. Adds such great flavor. All right, that looks good. Now, the topper. I'm just gonna take that same cheesesteak Blackstone seasoning that I used on the meat and the veggies, a little bit on top, and then we're gonna pop this baby in the air fryer now. Again, we're at 400. We're gonna set the timer for about 5 minutes. Check on it here and there. You might need to add a couple more minutes. We'll be right back. It's been about 5 minutes. They're looking crispy, they're looking beautiful. We're gonna go ahead and take those out. We've got to talk about the crispiness on this. Absolutely beautiful. I can't even believe it did this in 5 minutes. I'm gonna take some Greek yogurt here. I have it in a piping bag. I know I'm not using sour cream, but trust me on this, it's delicious. Little Ziploc bag, add your Greek yogurt, tiny little snip on the corner here, and then you're just gonna zhuzh it up. Zhuzh up your nachos, just makes it a little fancy. Of course, if you want to add more, you can. Here we go. If you want to have fun, you can go the other way too. And then, I know it seems like a mess, but trust me y'all, it is so delicious. Okay, now, a little fun with the post dust. We're gonna add a little bit of that cheesesteak seasoning right on top. You don't have to do this. This is just like a little extra added feature. And then you also don't have to do this, but this always makes it look beautiful. Add a little bit of parsley here. And look at that. Whether it's poolside, whether it's just hanging out with your girlfriends or for the big game, whatever it is, you're gonna enjoy these Philly cheesesteak nachos. I've got to take a bite. I don't even know where to start. Okay, I think I'm gonna go on this side here. It's got a little bit of everything on it. Ooh, they're hot. That's what we want. Look at that. Got the Greek yogurt, the cheese, the meat, the veggies. Yes. It's like eating a Philly cheesesteak, but you don't have the bread. So it's definitely satiating, but it's not an overwhelmingly amount of food, which means I could probably eat this whole pan. But trust me, 5 minutes, y'all, that's it. A couple minutes on the griddle top, and you've got yourself an appetizer or dinner, or just dinner for one, like me today. Just remember, at the end of the day, you always want to keep it quick. You got to keep it simple, and most importantly, you've got to keep it delicious. My name's Taylor Mock, and I will see you on the next episode. Cheers.